because his character will be on his honeymoon for this episode. So we dealt with the wedding of Thror and Mare. One thing that is a lot of presence is known is you guys get a sense of a lot more attention and recognition. You are recognized wherever you go through Dale and Erebor, as recognized for your roles with, as far as Dale goes, with the Battle of Ceawin and keeping the Gibbet King's army from sacking the city of Dale. You're known in Erebor for your duty to prevent a dragon from coming in and again taking the rebuilt city under the kingdom under the mountain away, and also for defeating the Gibbet King. So, let's hear from you guys about how you spend your downtime We're going to start with Mike.
Okay. So, Elebrimborn is pretty much enjoying himself at the wedding with Thror and Mare getting married, and is there and thinks a lot of what's going on, and all the recognition and stuff like that is just because of, it's a really big deal that you're having royalty in the dwarven community kind of getting married. So he just assumes that a lot of what's going on it has to do with that, and that really helps cheer his heart to see true love blossoming and things just going so well. We're out in the wilds. There's been a lot of despair and bad things basically going on. So this is a really positive thing for him that helps remove the shadow in him. And so when kind of Thror and Mare actually do go off a big letdown almost in one sense, just because everything kind of lets down, but then there seems to be all these people that kind of know him now and are looking at him and maybe pointing and stuff like that in general. I would say that because he's an elf and he's been around so long and so old, he's kind of almost even used to that in one sense, because he travels around all the time and kind of used to either people pointing at him when he's not in the elven kingdoms. A lot of people potentially ignore him if they don't know him, but there are people that he knows that are long-lived races or people that he's seen before. So it's just like a bunch of new people in his life that are becoming friends and that he sees as well. But I don't necessarily know that the fame or anything is doing anything for him in general regarding that. He certainly will take time for kids or anything like that for sure. If they're like, oh, that's Elebrimborn or whatever kind of thing, he'll definitely pat the kids on the head and kind of juke around and pretend like they stabbed him or shot him with a bow and arrow and fall over or whatever kind of thing. He'll do all kinds of... You do several
times see, as you're passing by, kids in the marketplace playing around the fountains, of standing on the fountain with a stick pretending that it's a bow and arrow and setting it down there and yelling, "Thror, leap onto the drawbridge and I will cover you." And you're seeing a lot of role-playing and make-believe about what your character is. And see Lorith, the character is supposed to be Lorith, fighting from behind a cart, using a stick as a spear, trying to poke at people.
And he kind of tries to show the kids how to do the moves, even though they're not like 100% what they would do, but what kids could do, and go, yeah, you almost got it right, or the story right, just because he does like telling stories and and songs and stuff like that. He'll teach the kids a couple lines and tell them what they need to say when they charge into battle.
Make an R roll.
Okay, and like idiosyncrasies of his companions and stuff like that.
What kind of idiosyncrasies are you sharing with the kids? This is something I'm curious about.
Thror refuses to wash his socks.
He gets he gets a 13 on awe. I don't know how good that is, but
okay, that's not enough to give the kids a bonus dice on this, but they got a 9 on there, so they're seeming to get the point of it. But it's kids still being kids, but they're taking advantage of the inside information on your party that you're giving them.
I tell them it's secrets. They're part of a secret society. They can't spread this kind of information, but I tell them like
part of a secret society.
Thror can't handle his beer, very well.
A dwarf who can't handle his beer?
Yeah, he can't handle his beer. He can't handle it like Elebrimborn, and Elebrimborn. We tend to have a contest between each other who kills more orcs and stuff like that. And
who wins? Who's winning? Who's winning?
Well, it's between you and me, kids. It's really your best buddy Elebrimborn here that's doing that's got the orc count right now. It goes back and forth, but
I knew it. And the kid playing Thror goes, I want to be Elebrimborn now.
Yeah, but I mean, you should try to be Thror and get more orcs than Elebrimborn. Someone's
What about Lorith?
Thror's a dragon slayer. I mean, what about Thror the dragon slayer?
Is Lorith cool, or is she just?
Oh, she's super cool to be around and hang around with, kind of thing. And
what does she do in combat?
Oh, like she goes right into battle, very courageous and everything. And you kids, you should know that, like, doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl. You can play. Girls can be Elebrimborn, and the boys can play Lorith too. So, I mean, there's
like a young sister sitting off to the
side
saying, "I told you I can play. I told you I can play," and she has like a wooden sword.
Yeah, I mean, but Lorith's very, very courageous. She goes in there and helps defend us, and she runs in where orcs would fear to tread.
I didn't know orcs got afraid.
Well, they're afraid of Lorith when they see her.
Lorith, the orc fearer.
Yep. And it's really important that you do well in school and stuff too, kids.
They just opened the school.
Yeah. It's very important that you do all your studies and everything as well, because life isn't always adventuring. Look at Thror now. Now Thror's going to be he's going to be a husband, and maybe he's going to be a father, and we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe not. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. King Dane was an adventurer at one time, so that's why we tell stories of everyone's fame, and it's going to be kids like you that are going to take our place, and we'll be singing songs about you one day, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, you're going to sing songs about me, Elebrimborn.
Yep.
We'll save Dale from a warg attack.
Exactly. So you're in the secret organization.
What's the organization called?
Well, the Company of the Whisking Drinking Bear. Have you ever heard of that?
Of course we've heard about it, but that's your organization.
Oh no, you guys are junior members in that organization. So I started thinking about how I got to go and maybe craft some kind of pins or something like that of a bear or something like that to hand out to the kids to like kind of deputize them or whatever kind of thing.
Okay.
But I'm like, you have to, So when I get those, whether it's from some toy maker or a tinsmith or something like that, I tell the kids they have to hide their secret identity in the organization because the shadow will target them. So we got to work strong together.
There is a dwarf toy maker named Arvin who oversees this and says, "I think I can help you there, Elebrimborn." And he starts designing a badge for Junior Whiskey Drinking Bear.
A clip-on one, because they're too little for pins.
Yeah.
Right.
But it does.
It
opens up like a bear opening his arms around, and he's got a mug of whiskey in each hand.
Right. But we'll have the kids like drink some kind of, honey drink or something like that.
They probably drink cider and mead anyway.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they probably drink.
But like,
especially the dwarf children.
lower alcohol, maybe some cinnamon or something in there for the bite of the bear and the fire and the fireworks and all that stuff in the story.
Going to craft a new cocktail.
That one's going to be stolen by the Arkenstone, the Drunkenstone.
What, the bite of the bear?
Yep. They make craft drink called Bite of Bear. And they invite you all over to debut and try out their new drink.
How long do we have for this fellowship phase?
You have about 6 months.
Oh, okay, so plenty.
Actually, about 4 months.
Yeah, that's plenty of time. Okay.
This is like February. This is the adventure is gonna kick off in the summer, so I'm giving you plenty of downtime to do all this.
So we don't necessarily even have to fill it all right now, but we have to put some in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll go there. With that.
Okay.
We'll go down on the same night, hang out.
You guys go on down to the Drunkenstone.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a bit of rowdy bunch of dwarves in there. They go, the company of the Whiskey Drinking Bear. Minus the new prince. How is the prince doing? Has he gotten out of bed lately?
Well, we haven't seen him, and I know from traveling with him he has quite an endurance. So, and then I slap him on the back or whatever, joke or whatever.
And they mix a cocktail for you. And they pour this cocktail over an ale that they've brewed, and said, "Here is you are the first outside of the Drunkenstone to try this new drink, the Bite of the Bear. It's a kind of a honey based beer, and it's got quite a bit of spices that they've had to go far to acquire. Some even from Herod, some from Dorwinian. So there's some quite exotic spices in there that you taste it and you feel the sweetness at first, and then the bear just begins getting your throat. Almost kind of a little bit of a milder version of the cinnamon challenge.
Whoa.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
They go, "What do you think?"
It's excellent. I'm glad it's something so unique like this too, and hopefully it'll be very popular.
Aye, to the company of the Whiskey Drinking Bear. Huzzah!
Cheers.
I growl a little with it in my throat, and then yeah.
So that you have that night. So what are you doing? Are you going to travel back to the forest, or
during that night at
during
the end?
Night? Sure.
I tell Elebrimborn, are we all going to meet back here then, per our friend's return at some point, because I must depart tomorrow.
You get you get a message sent by a raven to you.
Right there?
Yep. There is a raven, and there is a piece of scroll, and it says at the top, "From the bedside table of Thror."
And what does the message say?
The message says that the company is being charged with a task of the utmost importance to bring a custom-crafted masterwork to Ceawin down at Sunsteed. It will be ready come end of May.
Ah.
And they are worried about bandits and there's a lot of talk. Make a lore roll, everybody, to see what you know about this.
Okay. Forget.
30 with Tengu.
Wow. What do you have in lore?
4.
I have 3.
Yeah, I got a 9, 3 5s, and a 6.
I got 12.
12. You aren't as familiar about this. Your lore's taking you more to the other side of the forest, closer to the mountains. Ella Brimborn, you remember Sunsteed is the eastern Mirkwood, southeastern Mirkwood little pocket. I can't control roll 20 right now, so I can't show on the map where it is.
But that's where the white was in the barrow.
That is where the white was in the barrow, and the prop you've heard. We've been following up on that. And Ceawin, who is their leader there, has reported multiple cases of whites emerging from their barrows, and he has come up with the idea of offering the king of the dead there a masterwork helm as a peace offering to calm the dead, to still the dead. And the dwarves are busy making it, and you will be delivering it down to Ceawin, who will personally deliver it to the king of the whites in an effort to still the dead. So that's what you know.
Sounds good. All right.
Wow. So I
because
guess
his
we
people
have
are not doing well. They're not happy. They're fearing being so on this side of the forest, close to Mordor, and some are already moving back to Woodman Town and things like that. And this is threatening the security of another Woodman village. So, what else are you going to do, Ella Brimborn, during this downtime? Are you going to go to the, back to your Mirkwood? Are you going to stay in Dale and things? What are you going to spend? What are you going to do?
No, I guess I'll go back to Mirkwood.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And see
Before you do that, Lorif has more
I
short
was talking to him.
Sorry.
You started, and then the raven came in. So I tell you, I don't know what your plans are, but I have to depart, and I mean to go at first light tomorrow. It's been nigh on a year since I saw my father, and I should check in with him. Although I've seen my kin every many months or so, I should go to where he is staying now, and
well, ask Lorith if she needs a companion to go with her, offering me to go with her, or whether she wants to go, to deal with family matters on her own or not.
What's your answer?
I was thinking about that. I wouldn't say I need a companion, but I believe they would not mind you knowing where they're staying now, and You might find it interesting. So if you
All
wish,
right.
if you wish, it will be a bit of a trip, but we should be back in less than 2 months, I think.
It'll be
At most, depending on how long we stay.
Oh, there's the book.
I mean, I guess, we need not travel on foot the whole way. But there are parts we'll need to travel on foot.
You have enough treasure to get horses and stuff, so that you can make good pace with this.
Yeah. The thing is, this is like my perception of this is that my father is not staying at one of the regular homesteads where people are kind of more established, like a little town, but is in one of the kind of roaming companies still, although he's not as active. He's still somewhat active, and and does patrols and things. And so they kind of don't stay in one place for as long, and it's kind of guarded outside of our people. It's not like we want everybody to know where we are. We're exiles in this land.
Mm-hmm.
We're exiles in
There's a
land.
place where families meet up and things like that for these kind of occasions called the Refuge of the Dunedain, which is located in the Trollshaws.
So you want me to say that my father and I will meet there instead?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many days trip is that?
We don't need to worry about that. Things go a little bit looser once we're traveling and stuff in fellowship phases.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I can give him a kind of a sort of accurate. I figure we'll stay a little time. Maybe go out on a short patrol there and
Okay.
and spend some time catching up and then go back. So if you are interested, then I definitely extend an invitation to you.
Excellent. Yes, I'm very interested to learn more about your people and your stories and share stories and gain more knowledge, especially of people we may meet along the way in that area as well, to share what good news we have and discover like information from those that are there, as well as your people, and meet your people and learn of their ways. And
you probably know as much of their ways from
what
me as anything, though I may be one of the more taciturn of them, though there's certainly plenty others that are more tight-lipped than me. But my father has a good ear for a rare tale to give and to hear, so I'm sure that you'll get on quite well together. He's known many an elf. I'm sure he's known elves of the forest. So, first light, we meet at whatever good starting point there is. I'm not gonna worry about that.
You can meet at in the courtyards of the palace area where you've been offered to stay while you're in town.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to have fanfare, and I don't. It's important that we not be followed. So, as long as we go quietly.
Yep. You travel uneventfully across Mirkwood. Do you want to stop in Thranduil's halls? Because it's on the way.
Might as well. To pop into his people.
So here's where, Mike, you can take control of the narrative, talk about who you're seeing there. things like that.
How long would it take me to go up one with a spear?
Um,
I figure there's probably some people there that are good with them, and I could get a good training.
Sure. It doesn't. It's not a matter of time.
Okay.
Hey, I have control over roll 20 over in this.
There was a
Yeah. Tell him he's dropped out. We haven't heard him. I'm gonna get a beverage. I'll be right back.
Okay. Can you hear us, Mike?
Yeah, I think it's what's going on is what's going on before, because it said is any and then pause for about 10 seconds and then thing.
Are there things leveled up now?
I heard you better clear at that point.
Okay, because I basically switched browsers over on roll 20 so that I could actually do something.
Okay.
So, okay. Alright, so while Mary is out in there, tell about how you're improving your character.
Oh, me, myself?
Yeah.
I think I probably need to spend... Because the things I'm kind of deficient in is... I don't know, things like hunting and explore, healing. I don't know if there's like stuff I can do with Lorith along the way to maybe up those skills as we travel along. I can kind of learn.
Lorith, describe how a little montage of how as you travel you help him with hunting and medicine.
No, I do have hunting. I've got hunting at 3 and healing at 2. While we're in the forest, one of your soldiers told me there was a sighting of the white hart. Let's see if we can get a sighting ourselves, and I map out a little, whatever from where I heard that it was sighted, and plot out a little kind of patch, and we do that, and I show him how I kind of do that.
Make a hunting roll.
Okay. Let's hope I do well. Nope, that's alright. 3. 2. 5. And a 5. So, that's 15. No,
15, not enough to catch sight of the white hart, but you are doing enough as you are moving through, showing Elebrimborn what to look for, showing him signs of other deer, how to judge prints and scat for age, and be able to follow the paths of the deer.
Cool.
So you can boost those skills up.
Sounds good.
And did you say healing too?
And healing.
Ah. Okay. Let's assume that during this, I cut myself on a sharp branch.
Mm-hmm.
And so I use that opportunity to show him a little bit of that, and make him go and find it. Tell him, okay, ask him about, foliage that I see and blah, blah, blah. And it's, there's like a plant there that can be used to staunch the wound, and a little more of it to pack in after it's been cleaned and pulled tight, because it's not that deep, but it's a little jagged, so you kind of want to push the skin together. And then, so we have to do that with our hands and find something sticky, so we find a sticky or whatever leaf, and then, pack the stuff in over it, and then we have a little ranger mumbo jumbo over it, and, you know, I mean, it has to be cleansed and all that. We have water from our...
Atlas, you say? Find Atlas. We call that king's foil in the Mirkwood, in Greenwood.
It's excellent. Whatever it does a lot for any wound. But there are many plants that you can use for healing, and indeed many objects that aren't plants.
We have many plants that they just don't grow open in the wilds. It's plants that grow in darker areas of Mirkwood and many mushrooms and things like that too, but not as many living foliage with all these flowers.
Well, one of the most important things for healing is to know that if you have a gut wound, you need to cover it at all costs. This will keep you from bleeding profusely long enough to perhaps get help or kill the enemy that's still fighting you at the time. I've done it during some of our combats. Do I need to make a healing roll for this?
No.
Okay.
No. You show him.
Okay.
Yep, so you can boost that.
So is he good with a spear?
No, I don't know how to use a spear at all, but I don't have other points to spend on it, but I've never used a spear. I'm bow, sword, and one in dagger.
Right.
So.
I was like looking for some, because I'm yeah.
And don't forget that dagger is also unarmed.
Oh, you can throw it?
No, it's also your unarmed fighting skill.
Oh, okay.
It's something that's easy to overlook in this game. I forget it most of the time.
Well, since
so if you just punch somebody.
Right. It's good for stabbing. It's good for punching somebody.
Well, I know what I want to raise, but I'm not sure how much of it I can. I want to do spear. I'd like to get one more in healing. I'd like to go up and search, and then if I have anything left, bow or awe would probably be, or stealth would more in stealth would be good. But some of these I have I have only one in spear, so that would be easy to raise.
Where's the book that I gave you?
Right here.
Do you have that page that I had it open to?
No.
No?
Was I supposed to keep it open?
Yeah, because that had the chart that showed you how much it cost you to do everything.
I didn't see any such chart.
Here,
I'm just gonna. Here, it's fellowship phase. It was in here, right?
It's in fellowship phase.
Yes. Yeah, so. You didn't say keep it open to that page.
Here it is. Here's the chart for raising a common skill, and here's for raising hope and valor and battle skills.
Oh, hope and valor.
Because then you could get a new cultural blessing or reward.
Well, I wouldn't mind raising my valor.
And also that comes in handy for fear test for raising valor, as well as for
I'm trying to
encounters.
Figure it out. Okay, so okay, I don't understand it. All right, I don't understand it. It's because it's weapons and blah blah blah. You mean I can raise valor period?
You can raise your valor period.
Well, it's at 2. How do I get it to 3? How much will it cost?
Raise it to 3. That'll cost you 6 points.
Okay, no problems.
So you are using your ranger class. Luckily, I pulled out that book.
This will help me a lot. It's a small thing, seemingly, but it will help me a lot. I'm sure there's something you can teach me, Elder Brunborn. I just have to figure out what it is.
That's the elves. Ranger of the North. Oh, that's...
I always want to do more in sword, but I probably don't have enough to raise it right now. And frankly, I've been kind of kicking ass in it, so I'm kind of want to bring up my other skills.
Revelation episodes, cultures, rangers.
How many boxes do you have in longsword?
4.
So me too. You
Yeah,
have a longsword,
4.
not a broadsword. Yeah, I mean.
4 and bow. I mean, I've just been focusing on bow and longsword.
Yeah. My I brought my bow up, but it's still only at 2. So that, but I kind of want to bring up spear because I figure it'll be very useful in some things. I've only got spear and dagger at 1 each, and
Cultural rewards. Here are the things that you can get. Heirloom of Lost Arnor. You have been entrusted with the keeping of an ancient relic, an artifact going back to the days when a king ruled the land. Basically, we'll create a wondrous artifact possessing 1 blessing, and you should create an interesting story and description for the object, possibly with the help of the lore master. You can get the Star of the Dunedain. Rangers have opened uncounted paths in the wild and have created many refuges and encampments, but the need for secrecy is so vital for their survival that it is a command of their chieftains that no one may be revealed the whereabouts of these places, nor taught to decipher the signs and runes leading to them. Raise your standing score by 1. Moreover, while you are within the ancient boundaries of the realm of Arnor, you may make an explore roll to find your way to one of these refuges. Quality of the success determines how far away it is and how safe it is. Numenorian arrows. For long centuries, the men of the sea send cohorts of archers to deluge their enemies under a rain of steel. Their long black feathered arrows can still be discovered inside burial mounds or among the tall grass of Eriador, where long forgotten battles were fought. You start each adventuring phase with a number of Numenorian arrows equal to your valor. When you attack using a bow, you can declare you're using 1 of them. If you hit your adversary, he will lose an additional number of endurance points equal to your valor. Moreover, he will miss his next attack unless he spends a point of hope.
Ooh. Can you retrieve them if possible?
You cannot retrieve them. They basically come back at the next adventuring phase. So you have to do a fellowship phase, and then you get your arrows back.
I really like the Star of the Dunedain.
Star of the Dunedain?
But I think that it might be more useful at this point to have Numenorian arrows.
Okay.
I mean, maybe next
time. Oh, wait.
time.
At the end of the battle, you can recover your used arrows.
Ooh.
If the circumstances allow it.
Yeah.
Unless you failed an attack roll with an Eye of Sauron. In that case, the arrow was lost or broken and cannot be recovered. Which is fair.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the arrows.
So write
the
that
blessing is the blessing thing is cool, but
heirloom is also cool because that can give you a boost to one of your skills.
Right, but then I have to think of it, and we have.
Well, we'd roll randomly for what it is, and then we would work on the story.
No, I think I'll go for the arrows.
Yep.
It's very practical.
So
right
write
now.
down Numenorian arrows on your character sheet under rewards.
Oh, rewards. Okay. Woohoo! I know an elf that's going to be jealous.
So tell me about how you found these arrows.
I don't know that I've ever seen them.
You know what? I'll deal with that after we
okay.
done the.
Just think about that.
Yeah, I will. So that was 6 points. I have more. While I'm going, right. I definitely want to raise my spear. So if there's somebody else.
What's your spear at?
It's at 1.
You raise your spear to 2. It costs you 4 points.
1, 2, 3. Come on.
4 points of XP.
So what do these points cost? They cost their XP too, right?
No, those points are skill points. Those are separate.
Okay. So I need
those are only for skills.
Get 10. Okay. Alright, so let me see. So what did we use before? 6 and now 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's 10, so I have 11 left. 11 XP. So these are only for
Battle.
common skills, right?
The skill ones are only for common skills.
Okay, and so I have to use the big ones for weapon skills and other stuff.
Weapons,
no problems.
And valor.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Blah blah blah. All right, no problem.
Blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah. I will. You know what? What will it cost me to get my bow up 1?
What's your bow at?
It's at 2.
Bow to 3 will cost you 6.
6.
I will do that, and then I've got just 5 XP left. And I suppose that instead of getting my usual lesson from the elegant Legolas, I could ask Ella Brimborn, since we're hanging out now and getting all chummy, to do that, to show me. So, do you think you could perhaps help me refine my bow skill? I found that I was able to use it better last time after our friends, after the prince's tutorials, but I think that there are things that you could teach me from the point of an adventure in this battle. I feel that he hasn't been adventuring much lately, and perhaps it's more of a tournament style. I need something a little more rough and ready.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to. I think it's always great to learn from different teachers, because you can learn different skills. Sometimes teacher may get stuck with teaching someone in a certain way, and if you can be shown another way, then you can always go back to the other teacher too from that. But absolutely, you've been able to help me with my hunting and healing, so it's the least I can do is show you, especially with those new arrows. We'll definitely want to get you up with your bow skills as well.
Cool. So what does he do?
Tell us about the montage.
So he kind of looks and stuff, and shows her some of the problem is that she needs to take better care of the bow. It's not as supple as it could be overall. It's kind of dry and doesn't have the elasticity, so they could work on kind of creating a new bow out of the woods, and showing that she has a lot of raw talent that just needs more refinement, and just because he has the very good hearing and elven eyes and stuff like that, he tries to show her how to focus more on the what nature around you, and shooting and wind speed coming and calculating things from there as to where you need to shoot. So more precision of archery that you can do very quickly during the battle to guarantee a better shot on your target.
Excellent. But perhaps I haven't cared for my bow as well. That is my bad. I have been focused so long on the longsword, but I feel that the situations we've gone into, one should be able to use any weapon to hand, and it is my intention in the coming months to learn more of all of these. I've already grown a little bit better with the spear, so
sometimes you have to hesitate when your foe is swinging to get them in a position where they're most vulnerable in their swing phase or whatever. So there's an opening in the chink of their armor or their defenses, when they're not expecting it. Sometimes it takes patience and not releasing the arrow immediately, but waiting until that opportunity arises and then taking it at that moment.
That's definitely not one of my strong points. You know that I prefer to go in.
That's what we like about your being. We like the fact that you're very courageous and very bold in your actions.
But sometimes one shouldn't be too bold.
Right. I try to dance around using the word headstrong or something.
Headstrong. I've been called worse. Okay. How are you in search?
I am 2 in search.
Okay, so he's not the one. Maybe my father. I believe my father will be able to instruct me better in stealth, and I intend to ask him in stealth and perhaps search when we get there. Because I have plenty of points for that.
Sure.
So, yeah, and I don't know who could teach me a little awe. I made notes. I mean, if
you can teach yourself.
It would be Thror. Thror would teach you awe. I only got a 1 in awe.
From your lessons from observing Thror in action, you can learn awe.
Or the Cold Drake.
Or the Cold Drake, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like I could draw a lot from that experience, remembering it. You know, I'm sure I wake up every other night with, in a little bit of a cold sweat. You know what I mean? Having had a nightmare about it, remembering when he put his face close and looked me eye to eye and threatened everybody that I knew. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I will. So I can just do that with the awe. So I've got 2 boxes. How do I get to 3? How much?
Go to 3. That is 12 points.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's a lot. 11. Okay. I still have enough left for. Well, maybe I won't be able to do much. Maybe I'll have to choose between search and stealth, and I'll probably choose stealth. But last time I raised my.
What are you at with stealth?
I'm at 2.
Go to 3 is another 12. Yeah.
Okay, so I can go there now, or do I have to wait? Because I was going to actually talk to my father about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when it comes to my family and my people, I am taking control of the narrative.
Good.
You know what I mean?
That's what I want you to do.
I have my vision of it, and frankly, I know as much as anybody that wrote those books because I've been reading them for friggin' how many years now? Let me see. I started when I was 13, and now I'm, So I've been reading them for 40-something years. So I think I'm an authority enough to, say how one of the Dunedain would live on her own. No problem. Just a little bit of brag. I'm not meaning to brag. I'm just saying, I have my vision for this. You gave me this character. It's mine. I'm creating it. I'm doing the backstory. You can adjust.
And that's exactly how a fellowship phase should go.
Good.
I'm drawing on the map out here
so,
in the bluish, kind of the cyan color, showing your journey across the Misty Mountains.
Do we have any things happen?
Through the Troshaws? No, because it's a fellowship phase. As you reach into the Troshaws to the area, I will describe the area and let you then hand this over to you. 10 leagues east from Ryan's castle, another ancient ruin broods on a ridge north of the road. A narrow track carved into the earth of the steep hill offers the only safe way to reach the tower. Once it was a road, but the thickets overtook it long ago. Trolls tend to avoid it out of laziness. This has made it a useful shelter for the rangers of the north when they must travel through the Troshaws. They have left the outer walls unchanged, and they know better than to light cook fires whose smell will draw attention. But they have carefully shored up and rebuilt the tower gates and roof. It won't sustain an attack if trolls discover it, but it might slow them down enough to allow fugitives inside to escape. So, yeah. Take it away.
meet the first guard.
A little louder.
We meet the first guard while we're still yards away from the hidden entrance.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say meet, I mean we're stealthily walking, looking about, and he comes up behind Ella Brimborn with a bow to his shoulder and says, "Say your business."
Well, I travel with my companion, Lorith, here to find her family and make new friends and learn of your ways. I am Ella Brimborn of the Mirkwood Kingdom and a vassal of Prince Legolas and King Thranduil.
And a companion. What did I say my father's name was?
You didn't.
I did at some point. I forget though. I should have written it down on this sheet. Lorith, daughter of. Oh man.
Archie.
No. Círdan.
Círdan?
Círdan. Círdan. K-I-R-D-A-N.
K-I-R-D-A-N. There you go. Tell me about him.
I seek to see Círdan. Is that you, Eloth?
It's me. Who am I speaking to?
Lorith, daughter of Círdan.
Lorith. You've been busy. Facing down dragons, last I heard. Unless the stories are greatly exaggerated.
They are not. It was a cold drake. And nothing is colder than his eyes and his voice in my memory. This is a friend. I would not bring him here if he was not completely trusted.
It is
By
greatly...
the King of Dale,
it is...
by the King of Erebor, by Thranduil himself, and he has saved my life many a time.
It is still greatly improper.
This is not. This is our the least of our meeting places. I would not bring him here. I would stake my life on it.
Perhaps you will. We'll see how Círdan feels about this. And he brings you, they raise the portcullis and let you in.
Ella Brimborn says to Lorith, "I don't want to get you in trouble. I can go my ways if this is gonna create problems."
If you go your way, you will not go far. Come and meet Círdan, and then you will become a friend of the Dunedain, and not just mine.
Excellent.
It's
I am
long past
that.
time.
That is what I seek. I just do not want to create problems or create tensions. There's been tensions between the elves and the dwarves for so long. I don't want to be the one named in this conflict.
I have bigger names to drop that will help clear your badge with them. But
well, we know the
Well,
wizards.
people.
We know the wizards on the councils as well.
yes, don't fear. I have no fear for this. Unless you left, in which case you're on your own. Okay, so we go and you know,
We're
it's not
not-
like it's not like some big all right, it's not like some big, you know, court or something. It's people, you know, having it's these are people who are exiles in their own land. They do their best to live, and all the people that come here on a regular basis are either family of those who are guardians and go on patrols and do things, or gather news, you know, in smaller, you know, maybe not everybody's a guardian, but some people are smaller, or they are them guardians themselves, and we meet here, and we exchange news, and we help each other with tips, and, you know, have a little bit of fellowship, and then go out to fight the shadow after that again. So, you know, it's on the more somber side is what I'm trying to say. You know,
what are the sights? Some of the sights that you see as you are walking toward Teardown?
You see people, you know, having a quiet drink and exchanging news at a table. You see people fixing armor. You see people getting healed from minor wounds and gathering things. You see people drying herbs for the common store and things like that, and preparing things. There, you know, it's not there is a big room, but there's also some smaller ones off it, and, you know, pretty much, you know, that's it. You know, I mean, some people are more at leisure, and some people are more, they've just got in, and so they're debriefing basically, and some people are before they can have leisure, and some people are preparing to go out. There are little areas of urgency where people have found something that they really need to attend to right away. You know, they found a piece of news, and they're going to be going out into either danger or watchfulness or both. So, yeah, it's pretty active, but it's also not that loud, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's kind of on the stealthy side naturally, and there's not a lot of bright colors to be had here, you know.
What's their response to seeing an elf walking with you?
They raise their eyebrows and pretend to look away while actually looking out with their peripheral vision mostly. And a couple of people, as I'm before I can get to my father, a couple of younger folk come towards me.
And what did they do?
One of them's a girl. One of them's a guy. The girl says, "Who's your friend?" No. No. Apple, I call her by her nickname. That's not her real name. No, Apple. Don't. This is my friend, Ella Brimborn of Mirkwood. We'll see.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Perhaps we'll see you tonight, or in a while when we take some ale, if there's any to be had, which I'm sure there is. You know, you might see people finishing brewing and stuff. And the girl is pretty, but she's a little let's just say she's one of those girls that's always looking for a new connection. So I'm saving you whether you know it or not.
Right.
And he just looks at me, and I'm like, later. We'll see you later. And you know, I'm basically intent on seeing my father first and everybody else afterwards.
Yep. Where do you find Kurdan?
Not in the main room. I look for him at the back of the room, at the back of the big room where people are a bunch of older people are sitting and you know, playing cards and talking and having, you know, ale or juice or whatever, and I thought he would be there, and he's not. So I asked him, "Where's my father?" Because I looked one day and he hasn't come back yet. From where? He hasn't come back yet. Maybe tonight. Maybe your friend would like to sit and eat. And so they invite us to sit down. And we sit down. I'm not going to go through all the names. It's just there's a bunch of ranger names. You know what I mean? And they get some of them. A lot of them called by nicknames. You know. You know, not like Vinny the Toe or anything, but you know, like the girl's name. You know, I called her Apple. That's not her real name, but that's what everybody calls her because. Well.
Some people call her the Pink Ranger, and there's like a Red Ranger and a Green Ranger.
Her Red Rover. No, yeah, lunatic French. You have to be able to understand that. So we sit down, and I'm definitely a little nervous about this. I'm sorry to change my. You're gonna come. And they're, you know, they're kind of accepting and kind of suspicious at the same time.
It's a closed community, so in one sense.
But they've known me since I was in the womb, so they're giving me some slack, bringing you here because you know they can always kick us out later, and you know, or kick out our butt, you know, and they start asking about you know, if the whole thing that they heard about Erebor, where everybody was killed and poisoned in Erebor, was true. I mean in Dale, and so I say, well, my friend is a bard. He could probably tell you better than I. And so you know, somebody brings us, you know, some mead and you know, a plate of some nibbles, and I look at you, and you might as well just go into it and tell them, you know.
Yeah, I tell them the story about how we were celebrating with a great feast, and how that creature came forward that just seemed to be in a robe. I don't remember his name specifically, but how he had poisoned everything, and we had lost Bjorn's son to the poisoning, and many people needed to be treated. It was deception in a time of unhappiness where we felt we were all safe. That's how they took advantage of us at that point. And Lorith was very suspicious in her teaching. She did not fall for their ploys, because I don't recall her ever touching any of their food or drink at the time. She reflected well on your society.
Then what happened?
Okay, these are older guys. They're not puppies. They're Dunedain.
Oh, I'm thinking of Apple.
Does she come up and
yeah.
Inside? Okay, I know you're gonna play her. All right.
Were you poisoned, Elebrimborn?
You guys still there?
Yeah. Can you hear us? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You guys still there? Hello?
Yes.
Still here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I just can't hear you guys.
1, 2, 3. 1,
There's
2,
a
3,
mute.
4.
Yeah, mute went on and off. But there's no green circle going around your thing.
Okay, we'll reset. 1, 2, 3 as we are again.
I can still see you're in the general Discord thing currently, but there's no green circle going around your icon.
What a bummer, because Apple's kind of, you know, hanging around your branch, baby. I guess you heard that part.
Ask manager.
Or at least part of it. Yeah, why do I say these things on stream?
I don't know if you can still hear.
If only I could remember everything I've forgotten about all of Tolkien's works, I would be able to write a book myself on it. But I can't.
Score.
Still, I remember enough.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you hear me, Mike?
Yes, I can.
Yay!
All right.
Sorry, I stepped out to the restroom when
That's all right.
you guys went silent.
So Apple comes up and says, "So then what happened?"
Well, I mean, we tell her about. I don't know what she had heard, but that many people got poisoned, and that Bjorn's son had been poisoned, and it took us such a long time to make friends with him. It was very sorrowful. Lots of people needed healing, and Bjorn's son, we had been in many competitions with him before, and he was of the embridled nature, just like his father. And we tried to use different tactics to reason with him. But how can you calm a storm or chase or basically tame the ferocity of a charging bear? We did it through drink and smoke, just as you smoke the bees to get their honey. We felt that when we smoked the old Toby with the Bjornings, that we could calm their spirit and become friends with them as well. But it was a terrible time. We had to rush Mare off at that point and abandon Dale itself to make sure that we got Mare up to Erebor to be treated medically as well. And unfortunately, that it was a sad time in the poisoning.
Excellent. So, what do you have a crowd gathered listening to your stories? What happens next?
Well, I think that somebody needs to make a roll to see how he's impressing them, and I think that he should get some pluses because he probably is.
Okay, make a song roll.
Okay.
His pluses are reflected in the TN. You just need a 12. 14 is normal, so you got some pluses going with you.
We got a 15.
They are completely hanging on your every word.
So you've gained some of the trust of some of my people. My father's another issue. And while he's doing that, I'm going to go off to the side with the oldest of the crowd and say, "Is my father in danger? Did he go out on a patrol?"
What's the name of the elder you're talking to?
Movath.
Yep. What's he say?
Them whites have been fierce on the edge of the forest where your hobbit friends are. He heard about what you did, and he went to see what he could do. But he was supposed to be back today. But we think he will be back tonight. He's meowing at me.
He's playing the role of Movath.
Yeah, I think he wants some food too. Okay.
Thror and I felt like we had defeated a white at Sunsteed, and so therefore it disturbs us that that they feel that it's coming back, because we feel like we actually had put the white to rest that was in that area at the time.
Yeah.
And their shadow is passing over our lands, and tends to be. It seems that in that area and south of Mirkwood tends to be more active in the shadow.
and they all nod their head with these knowing looks and laugh, because like these people have been patrolling that area for decades, most of them, and like they know more about it than you, but they're polite, and they are starting to like you, and so they they ask you to if you know any songs of the twilight times, the time before the early times, if you have any songs from your people, songs of the stars or what have you.
Yeah, I share that with me, and also the
somebody hands you an instrument.
My traveling. Yeah, and I have actually a very special instrument that we got from the underwater the underwater queen or princess there, when we had fought over in the seas there. There was like it was like a lute that I would not, she would not take. She was sad, and I was trying to give it to her to bring her joy after playing for her. So I pull that out. It really hasn't come into play, but pull that out and start playing that and discuss the old times and sing my travel song to them that I had composed recently as well.
And your mead cup will be kept filled, and now there's a little bit more cheer. And everybody seems, almost everybody, there's probably a couple diehards that seem a lot less suspicious of you, and people are coming up and just doing a little chat and coming up in a little chat with me and all that, and asking us for any other news and sharing news with us.
They do have news. There has been a swarm of orc activity, of orcs traveling through the Troshaws into the Misty Mountains. It looks like there is an eastward migration, and it looks, from the looks of how they're traveling light, it looks like that they are headed east all the way to Mordor.
Perhaps you'd like to tell them, elaborate more on the what we found, of the trolls, with having the orcs enslaved in the caves, in like tunnels underneath and all that. Feed me. Okay.
Okay.
So you,
Can you bring back a refill?
yeah.
Cool.
So you can tell him he can.
So you're gonna tell? Can you tell the story about
you guys can play it.
to play out the orcs that you saw that have been enslaved? So.
The orcs that that we've seen everywhere, kind of thing, as well, or the ones we have encountered.
Yeah, the ones you've encountered.
Yeah, they seem to be very bold in their actions, and more bold than in the past. And I have seen visions and communed with nature, the very woods, and have sensed the feelings of the wargs that they have ridden, and know that the wargs are somehow fearing. They fear things in the sky. They fear the teeth of men that fly through the sky, and they fear the eagles, and now they fear an eye that is in the sky, and that eye is driving them forth, and forcing them to work with these orcs. Normally they would not want to do this, but they're fearing the very sky itself. They fear nothing on earth, but they're driven forth, and these orcs have been their masters as well. And with that, and the Gibbet King coming up from the south, just to seem to be more organized and coming in hordes and hordes, with not afraid to come and attack people with purpose at this point, and discuss them, holding them back at the bridge down south, and all their wargs and their trolls that we have come upon in that area, as well as the tales that I had heard from Thror about the trolls that he had encountered in their area as well.
Molvith nods and says the trolls have been very active lately. They have also been moving eastward, as if heeding a call.
We have come across some trolls that seem to have purpose and are more of a leaders and stuff like that at this point, more than anything. Special trolls that are armored and seem more intelligent and in some kind of leading capacity. I don't know if you've encountered these as well.
We've heard rumors and have followed them, but have not been able to locate them. They are very tricky. Have you encountered any of them?
Of these trolls, yes. My companions and I have. We were able to defeat them and trick them at times. I tell them the story about how we actually used alcohol and stuff that we snuck in barrels to try to get them drunk, so we could move through their area to discover more about them and thwart them.
So how did you come to start traveling with our Lorith?
Well, that is an excellent question. I remember Thror and I were up in the north of Mirkwood in in the mountains, and we were fighting the Karagir, I think you call them.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible creatures up there, and Lorith came at that time. She had been in that area scouting us, and she assisted us when we were trying to escape a black fortress from these terrible creatures. Thror was pinned, and we were fighting them off, and she came in to help us escape the clutches of those creatures. And she then traveled with us downriver ever since.
She is a loyal companion. Do not underestimate her abilities. Do not take for granted her loyalty.
Oh, as we agree, and we have worked together as companions to guard and shield each other when we felt that the foe has taken advantage of one of our companions. Many times have we stepped in to protect each other.
So what happens next?
So we you know, people bring us food, and we don't even have to ask. People bring us food and drink, and we just, you know, sit there telling tales while the fires come up in the hall, and it you know, it starts getting darker around, and then you know, in a corner through some little whatever door that you don't really see, there's a couple people whispering together, and this man looks over at us and sees who I'm sitting with and shakes his head. I see him out of the corner of my eye, and he comes over, and it's my father.
Okay. Describe him.
He's tall. He's not thin, and he's not dowdy. Sort of in between, you know. Got a little meat on his bones, but, well, muscle, you know. He's older. I mean, he's not that old, whatever, he's probably like, he would appear to be about the age I am now, even though technically he's probably older, you know what I mean, by about 30 or 40 years. But, you know, worn, more weathered. He's got a beard and a mustache, and they're not exactly neatly trimmed. His hair has not been combed in the last few days, at least, I'm sure. And he's wearing clothes that are fairly well travel-stained. You know, he kind of looks like me, but his eyes are much darker, and he makes me look like a smiley puss, you know, by comparison, until I turn and smile at him, and then his like face breaks into a huge smile, and he comes over, and you know, and I get up, and you know, while he's trying to pat me on the back, and I get up and, you know, embrace him, and I say, I was worried this time. You were expected back earlier. I said, if I'd known you were coming, perhaps I would have gotten here on time. Sit. Can you sit and give us the news? Are you all right? Do you need healing? I've taken no wounds this time, except perhaps to my hope. What? I see you, and that comes back. Who's your elf friend? And I tap Brimborn on the shoulder if he's still talking to anybody, and I say, Brimborn, this is Círdan, my father. This is Brimborn of Mirkwood.
Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you, sir. You have your daughter. Has done your family justice, and you have great kin here. And I am happy to meet you and be amongst your people as a guest. And I keep singing the praises of, Lorith and his genetics, basically.
He gives me a look, like, and I'm like, no, you know what I mean? Like, between father and daughter, like, he gives me a look like, am I meeting my future son-in-law? And I'm like, no, but he doesn't say it, it's just in his eyes, and I'm like, we're companions. I thought it was time you met one of the people who I have been traveling with for some time now, and who has helped our cause as much as anybody here.
Here's a picture of Círdan.
We found a picture, huh? He looks older, but that's okay. His hair is dark, but with a lot of gray. Okay, good enough. But that guy doesn't have a beard.
Yeah,
But yeah, okay.
Before you
just
said.
imagine with a beard and all that. Okay. He's charmed everybody already, I tell my father. And he gives me a look, and he grabs a roll off the table and sits down and says, so, I heard that you were talking to dragons. I thought I taught you better than that. It was, I didn't have a choice. You didn't have a choice. Well,
the dragons wouldn't talk to Thror or myself. They would only talk to Lorith.
Dragons hate dwarves unless it's for dinner.
Right.
It seemed to be the case. Anyway, it's not like we exchanged addresses and dance cards. We had our say. I was just trying to save our skins. It wasn't really anything that much. I'll be the judge of that. I mean, he's putting on a little bit of a hearty show because he's got some heavy crap to share later, but he's not going to share it all in this big when everybody's all blah blah blah. So he's just going to, go with that. So we're going to have to stay and party with him a little bit more. And then he's gonna probably take me aside and tell me, about what's going on with the whites down by Bree in the Shire a little bit more. And I'll invite Ella Brimborn into the conversation after that if he's still around. And if he's not gone off with some, to charm people, and we'll tell him what we know about what's going to happen with the other whites. We'll pass on what we're going to be doing because they will keep it quiet. I don't know if Ella Brimborn will think I'm being indiscreet, but this is what my people do, and they will help us one way or another. They will aid us if they can. So.
Excellent. No, I think we need the help from. It's always been my feeling that the way we'll defeat the shadow is by working with each other and all the free people working together. The shadow tries to divide us, and if we're divided and in smaller groups, I think it's very important to share and work together to defend each other and watch each other's backs. As soon as people start battling each other over trivial things, that is the very shadow creeping into their midst.
That's the way. That's the way. So how's that thorny old king of yours? He's not the gentlest. He charges quite a toll at one time through his forest. He's but he is strong. He's talking to you about Thranduil.
Yeah, our people at one time, not very long ago, were becoming very isolationist and wanted to hide away from the rest of Middle Earth in general, and just basically be amongst ourselves and not communicate with others, and let the shadow came to us. But Thror and myself and our other companions, Togo Maggot and Brittany, we all helped to convince the King Thranduil that of what I was speaking, that we need to work together in aiding each other in fighting the shadow, and that certainly has happened. So, but that is the curse of leadership, whether to just safeguard your own people versus give your resources to help others.
Yeah.
And I think Thranduil's understanding that it's important that we all work together to solve this problem, and we would appreciate your aid in any form, and I have the Prince and King's ears, and I would be happy to pass a message and or any written information to them. You don't have to verbally tell me, but if you want me to pass any kind of secret messages or whatever through there that you feel that you cannot get through our guards of Mirkwood, I would love to pass that on for you, because that is what I wish and have always wished to do and hoped, is to be an emissary between peoples to my kingdom.
Well, it seems you are an emissary. If my daughter has anything to say about it, you're the first elf that's ever been allowed here. And probably the last for some time, though I guess it's okay. I'm assuming that he is actually one of the kind of people here, one of like 2 or 3 that actually kind of decide things from the way you said stuff. So, but not alone, you know. It's not like Lord. I don't want to be the daughter of Lord Word, but he's definitely in the upper echelons of this. So, so he's given the seal, so it's okay. So, I was hoping that we might do some training tomorrow, Father. Training? I've been training you since you were 8. What more do you need? I believe that well, some call it boldness, but I believe it might be called pig-headed, stubborn, fiery need to hit a foe has recently outclassed my stealthier ways, and I perhaps could use some refreshing in that area. Just like your mother, and you see where that got her. That is not what happened. He looks at Elbringborn. She doesn't. And just like your brother, how is he? Have you seen him? Not this year. He's away. He's pretty far away. Okay. He doesn't want to tell me, so I'm not going to push him. I just put up my hand. You must be tired. And he just nods. And after he just takes one giant gulp of his drink, whatever it is, he grabs an apple off the table, or whatever fruit, I'm assuming maybe an apple, and gives Celebrimborn a hearty handshake, and tells me to meet him tomorrow, at the 3rd hour, and I know where, and we'll do that. And he says, you can bring the elf if you want to. And then he goes off to rest.
Yep.
I hope you weren't offended by his manner. He was a little bit more jovial than usual tonight. I don't know why.
He is kind and gentle compared to the hill folk of the north.
That's what worries me.
This is the first time that I haven't had to wrestle in the mud to show my acceptance to the tribe, and possibly to be able to date their daughters. So I am much relieved that you don't have the same traditions in your tribe. That
she starts talking in her mead when you say date your daughter.
That apple girl was giving me the eye there.
Yes, Apple is let me just say
it appears I'm the apple of her eye, possibly.
She has that name for a reason, but you might want to avoid that branch. I don't want to speak ill of her, and indeed it's not ill so much as I would just say to be wary, but you do as you will.
Well, it feels great to be amongst your people, and safe and wonderful to meet your father and your people, but I am weary from the long travel, and would enjoy a night of rest in a comfortable location, and not on the ground. I have become accustomed to sleeping in the quarters of kings at these times, and I'm looking forward to a comfortable bed. Not necessarily the trappings of kings, but you understand what I mean.
Yes, and I would tell you that if you want it to be comfortable, again, don't taste the apple, but you do as you will. Would you like to join my father and me for training tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Then I will call for you a little before the 3rd hour.
Very well.
Okay. That's the 3rd hour from the rising of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And so she bids him, and then she sits there, drinking and chatting with the old men for a while. Okay.
Yep.
Do Do you want to switch focus or anything? You know, maybe he's got some tryst or something.
Is there anything you want? Do you want to pick up the narrative at all for this night, Elebrimborm, or?
No, not necessarily. Yeah, nothing else that needs to. Like you said, you know, he's at the point where he is
Exhausted.
He is weary, and there was a lot of uncertainty of what's going to happen. But he wants to make sure that his mind is fresh when dealing with Laura's father tomorrow. He wants to represent himself the best possible, so he believes that any kind of drinking or cavorting tonight will be detrimental to his father, because he can still see that Laura's father is kind of stern. Not that he's trying to win his daughter's hand, but just realizes that he's an important person or a leader, and whatever he needs to do to establish a good relationship or rapport, he's kind of following that thing. And it didn't seem like the father certainly went away, and didn't seem like he went to drink with everyone else. So he definitely doesn't want to be part of any of that. He doesn't have any idea whether the father's going to drink in his cups or anything anyways, but he definitely wants to reflect, like I said, well of himself on the next day.
He's probably, it's like, he's not even shocked to shit that I let him come here, but I'm kind of trying to be a good friend and try and learn to be more trusting with my companions. I mean, I trust them, but I've been kind of reserved with them, and I'm kind of trying to be more like what normal people would do without completely, I spent a long time really being isolated, and I realized it was not fast.
Elebrimborn realizes that if he's like the first elf amongst these people in a while, that he is representing all of the elves, and since he is friends with Elrond too, as well as Thranduil, and he feels like has to, and the elves down in the South Galadriel and Celeborn and stuff, he realizes, even though he's not from those groups of elves, that these people may be categorizing elves as one thing, and they don't really understand, and maybe he can better teach them that when the opportunities come forth. But he represents pretty much all of elf kind in Middle Earth to these people right now, and so he needs to reflect on them a good representation, and make up for any bad experiences they had before, or what they felt they had received as far as a welcome or lack of welcome from King Thranduil or any of our people in the past.
Yeah, that's good. It's good that he feels that way, because some people probably haven't had that much truck with elves, but a lot of people have, but maybe not as much of the royal family of Mirkwood, But we'll leave what my father's dealt with until the morning.
And he understands that he may not get any headway with these people, but they will, after he departs and they are amongst themselves, they may be able to reflect back on his behavior and what Elebrimborn was asking for, and may change their heart in the future, even though they may not open their hearts to him while he is here.
Well, they've already done it enough that, you haven't been chucked out 7 miles away with a hood over your head. So,
right, that's true.
If you knew that, so you can count yourself lucky. And
tied out with honey wrapped over your body.
Yeah, I'll tell. Probably when I get you tomorrow morning, I'll tell you. You know, you must have impressed the first guard because usually you wouldn't get past him because there were 4 or 5, and we never even saw them. I think that you're doing quite well here, and my father seems to have taken a shine to you. I mean, he's not usually that cheerful and talkative. So, we'll
wow.
see. Yeah. I mean, I don't even. Usually I wouldn't ask him about my brother. I'd wait, but it seemed like I might as well take the opportunity.
So I asked Loreth about that. Well, I said, yeah, I would like to know more about your family, your mother, and your brother when you feel the time is appropriate. I've met your father, and we'll learn more about him, and maybe when we are not amongst your people, unless it comes up, we can talk about your brother and mother.
Well, my brother's he was better trained than I, but only because he was older. I don't get to see him much. I never did. He was off being a guardian when I was very small. I don't think they planned on having me. They had my brother when they were first married, and then I was much later. And then, of course, when my mother was killed in an ore crate on one of the homesteads, that was not the best thing for a family. But my father took care of me and trained me, and I keep telling him it's been, what, I don't know, 20 years or so, or a little less. He should remarry, but he's going to wait until he can barely walk before he finds another companion. Such is the life of guardian. And there you have it. Just giving them all in a nutshell. I might as well use for her what I use for myself. Whatever. You know what I mean.
Yes.
Not much to tell. Perhaps someday you'll meet my brother too. But for now, it's good that my father likes you, because he has a strong voice here. I don't think they're going to let you into every encampment, but this is good enough, and we're almost there. Could you do me a favor right now, Olive Brimborn, and close your eyes, and I will take your hand and guide you the last little way. It's just a little thing he likes me to do. He wouldn't want anybody to see the last little bit of approach, even though I'm sure you could find it by scent or steps or whatever.
Absolutely. He goes, I will even, if you want to throw one of your clean sacks over my head as well,
no.
if that's tradition.
I lead him carefully for the last little bit to this place that my father likes to do.
Yep.
Little whatever, it's an outside whatever, and it's also so that nobody else kind of gets drawn there. I mean, it's a kind of like a little sort of grove.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some whatever stone walls, kind of, stone whatever rising, against, and there's a lot of underbrush, and then there's a little clearing, and it's just one of those little places my father likes to mess around in. So, and he looks at me when he sees me. But he doesn't know where we are, and so then he runs us through a little bit of a training exercise for stealth.
Describe it.
Yeah, That's good. He uses the Elebrimborn as the bait. You know, tying him loosely to a tree so that he can get out on his own, but not right away. You know, with his permission, and after sending me off to another whatever, you know, he leads me somewhere. He does that. I don't know that that's that, and he tells me that I have to sneak up on Elebrimborn, and if I'm not careful, I'm probably going to get an arrow in the gut because he's armed him and told him to shoot. Of course, he hasn't actually done that, but this is what he's doing. You know what I mean? Yep. And so I have to go without basically so much as stepping on a leaf or a twig. And meanwhile, he's told Elebrimborn, if you're not here when I get back, I won't be angry. But if you're here when I get back, I don't know if I'm going to let you stay tonight. You know what I mean? And so he can do with that what he wants. Hopefully he'll try and get out a little. And so he's pitting us against each other. I'm not good. I've never had to do a tactic thing. You know, what am I? An army chick? No. I'm a writer. I studied philosophy and creative writing. What do you want from me?
Elebrimborn, what do you do?
I'm good with makeup. So.
Well, Elebrimborn is he does have his speaker's ability kind of thing too, and so he may actually communicate to a group of if he's tied to the tree and stuff like that. He's got, you know, his distinctive feature is quick of hearing, and so he'll be listening for Lorith, but he'll also try to talk to a family of chipmunks and try to convince them to crawl up the tree and bite, you know, like try to chew off his bindings and stuff like that
which they do,
and without kind of putting any kind of effort on it, and he will try to climb the tree that he's supposed to be tied to.
Make an athletics check.
And then hide up in the tree.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Meanwhile, while we're both pitted against each other, my father's gone somewhere else, and he is very carefully going to shoot arrows, not at us, but around where we won't get hit, but to hurt us. You know?
So if you get an Eye of Sauron, you get hit by an arrow.
All right. I got a 22 with a Tengu for athletics.
You easily walk up the tree.
Arrows.
That's fine.
And so now I'm trying to kind of hide or conceal myself up in the tree.
Make a stealth check. You can roll the feat dice twice because you're up in a tree. A lot of cover, camouflage. This will be your target number.
All right. Well, I get to take the better of the two.
Yes.
Okay, because the second time I rolled it was the Eye of Sauron. So
yeah, I'll take the other one.
the first score wasn't so great. It was a 13, but
yep, 13. So Lorith, make a stealth check.
And of course, I think maybe Elebrimborn shooting at me. I have to be stealthy and not angry about it. Oh, that's only 2 now. I'm trying to get up to 3.
Yep.
So I'm rolling my. That's a 2.
Elbrimbor, make an awareness check for me.
This is why I need this training.
He got a 14 with a Tengu.
You're watching Lorith approach, crawling through the tall grasses of the Troshaws.
Okay.
From your high
So that would
view.
be... Is that a success?
Oh, that's
Just
a very success as you're watching her approach.
Okay.
Trying to impress her father, taking a very long time, which is kind of annoying you of how slow she's progressing.
I'm going to try to see if I can, like, somehow move from tree to tree and maybe get closer to where her...
You're in the Troshaws. The trees are pretty spread out around here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's not like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Lion.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was going to try to run from tree to tree like it was Kashyyyk or something. So yeah, I'll just kind of hang out and watch for who's going to come to see, when they see that the bonds are cut or whatever kind of thing.
Okay, as I get within sight of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I knew that he was there, I'm gonna make
an awareness check. Mm-hmm. 10. You see the cut bonds there, and a family of woodchucks are sitting there at the base of the tree looking up at you with very innocent looks on their faces.
See if I have any crumbs in my pocket.
Sure you do. You have some pocket bacon.
Yeah, they like tubers.
I throw it out to them over like way over there.
Yep.
So that the sound goes over there.
They run over and get this food.
I get very, very close to the tree.
Okay.
I make another awareness check.
Okay. Ella Brimborn, anything else you want to do up there?
Jeez, I'm rolling like crap. Whoa, that's better.
No, I mean, no, not necessarily, but I mean, I guess I can fire, an arrow or something in a different direction that makes it sound like a stick is cracking or something like that in a different direction.
Lorith, you look up and see an arrow fire out of the boughs of the tree.
And okay.
Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Mary's forgetting that the camera isn't on her. She's doing her
No, I'm not
expressions.
Oh, okay. All right.
She's looking about. She's thinking. She's considering.
Ella Brimborn tries to grab like a nut or something off a branch and kind of drop it on.
A look of horror.
Drop it on Laura's head.
If you can see, a look of horror comes onto Laura's face, and she backs away from the tree and starts running back where she came through the tall grass at top speed.
Okay. As you run, begin to run, an acorn falls on your head.
It's an acorn. Like I noticed. I know what's up. I'm pantomime. So I run through that at a top speed, and then I drop. I'm gonna make a stealth roll for this. So that I'm going to try and disappear again.
Okay.
As if something was coming. That's more promising. That's less promising. Okay, that's a 12.
Mm-hmm.
So can I become a little bit more invisible in the grass?
Sure, you can try.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
You're moving through the grasses. You've covered yourself up a little bit. You've put some stuff some grasses in your pockets and around your sleeves to try to blend in better with it, and you're moving through there.
Yeah.
Celebrimbor, make an awareness check.
So if he thinks that he's, seeing Lorith kind of run away, I guess his thought or mission or whatever was that he's supposed to escape from where he's at. That's what her father said. So he's going to try to shimmy down the tree after he does his awareness check.
Don't worry about the awareness check then.
You got a 16 with a Tengu.
Okay, you see Lorif moving through the grasses, beginning to approach again, but again at an annoyingly slow speed.
Shit.
And he's going to try to climb down the tree and then try to stealth his way from
no
tree
roll
to
for
tree.
Climbing down the tree, but make a stealth for shimmying out of there.
Okay.
And while he's shimmying down, before he touches.
Oh, he rolled a Gandalf.
On the other side of the tree.
What'd you roll?
A Gandalf.
A Gandalf?
So, but if you need the total still, it would be 18.
I don't need a total.
So he's trying to stealth his way out of there, going from tree to tree.
And he gets to the other tree.
So he's going to try to make an awareness to see if he can find Laura's father, see if he can find Kindred.
Sure.
He's going to watch for if he's he gets the sense that he's firing arrows. If the arrows that went off, he's trying to locate that.
Sure.
But he's not.
The arrows have kind of stopped.
All right. Yeah, he rolled a 12.
Okay. It's
awareness. 12 awareness.
Círdan.
Círdan. See, he's got
How easy to make up all these names.
So he's probably Celebrimbor is pretty confident that he doesn't.
What did you get?
Círdan's nowhere near him, kind of thing.
What did you get for your awareness?
12.
Okay, you are not seeing him.
But in his mind, he's not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until Círdan comes up.
So he keeps on trying to stealth out of the area wherever the starting point was or whatever. But to be respectful of their ways or whatever, he's not trying to go and snoop on their secrets or whatever. Yep. He's playing the game as to what he reflects the game is supposed to be.
The stick he's holding.
Hang on, he's got to make another stealth check before we see if he finds him.
Okay.
Make another stealth check.
Okay.
Awareness check, I'll give him...
he gets shot with an arrow. He just got a Eye of Sauron.
Now give Mary the narrative. What happens?
Just as you think that you know where everybody is because you can see Lorith coming through the grass because she's not being as stealthy as she could be even though she's been trying. You feel a little stabbing on your shoulder, and when you turn around, it's my father holding a stick at your back and saying, Good thing that wasn't an orc spear.
Ah, yes, indeed.
Of course, I could have hit Lorith with an easier throw. And Lorith hears and stands up.
Ah, but that is why we are here, Father, is to learn. We are concerned that we will be facing orc spears at our back, and it is better now for us to train and learn in our deficiencies. That's why Lorith comes to you now, so that we can learn of your wisdom, and so we will not be fooled when it truly is an orc spear at our back.
That's how she got caught by the barrow wight when she was a little girl. She had to go on ahead. She had to go letting herself get separated, looking at pretty flowers and things, and listening to songs in her head. She learns, but then sometimes she forgets. Don't you? Yes, I do. I'm glad for your guidance, Father. You can see this is a moment for her. Should we try something else? Or perhaps Alabrimborn would like to take some refreshment first.
No, I am eager to learn, or whatever you wish to do.
Can we just say that my father runs us through another little exercise, a different one, and this time I do better?
Yeah.
Okay, because I want to get my skill up just one.
Okay.
All right. How many points do I need? I'm at 2 in stealth. So how do I get to 3?
You get 3. You spend 12 skill points.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's all but 2 that I have left. And that's okay. So I got what I most wanted to get. And I should just make those louder there. Okay. So. Wow. We actually played together. Ha. And then we go and, I tell them I'll join them for a meal after, but that I need to wash.
Okay.
These grasses are full of dirt and small bugs.
Not to mention troll droppings.
Nasty.
Thank you. Not to mention that. Great, so I'll have my clothes laundered and I'll have to wear something else.
Laundered.
They launder clothes.
Okay. It's scrub it in the creek.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a little tub that they kind of bring in, whatever. Like a really makeshift, but they can do it a little bit.
I just envisioned the troll droppings in Willow when they were in that keep.
I forgot about that.
I know, but it's kind of. I mean, you forget about that, but that was like super cool, and they had the wand, and then he makes that big 2-headed dragon thing there, and it's picking up trolls and throwing them all over the place.
Yep.
I love that movie. That's why I love Ron Howard, and
yeah,
I think he did a great job with that movie for kids and everybody. People are critical of his stuff, but I think he does a great job.
Oh, he does.
He does.
He's a great director. He does a
Yeah.
lot of shit.
So what happens at night?
I think that Elebrimborn gets a chance to maybe learn some songs that he might not know from that our people know, songs from Rivendell and songs from Numenor that were passed down, whatever.
Okay.
Songs about Valinor and stuff like that. Songs about, the Lay of Luthien and Baron and stuff like that. A couple things like that. So you might want to, whatever, and he gets to exchange some songs, and my father will probably say, "Oh."
Yeah, he sings, and Ella Brimborn sings the songs of not only old heroes but of new heroes that have come forth in the recent years, and talks about like Thor, the Dragon Slayer, and the dealing with the spiders, and the dealing with the spiders. Togo Maggot dealing with the spiders and sharing all of his stories regarding that.
I could hardly believe when I heard Lorith was traveling with a dwarf all the time. That's a new one. Haven't done that. How is it? Are their beards really as full of crumbs, as they say? I mean, he's met dwarves and stuff, but it's not he hasn't hung out with them. He hasn't to any great extent. He hasn't traveled with them like that. So
yeah, dwarves different. They're very, very different. You have dwarves such as Bomber, who would have crumbs in his beard, and he would jokingly tell you that he was saving them for a snack later on. And then there are dwarves that are very neat and fastidious, just like what you would expect. There was a variety in the peoples, and to categorize them as one oafish feature is usually not true. They're all different.
Just you're different from the elves of Rivendell. Well, you're definitely not anywhere. You don't look anything like Elrond, for instance. But,
yes. Well, we are kind of we are a leaner people that have fallen on harder times, and basically deal more with like you, that we deal with things of the woods and tending to that, and not so much of nature and physical beauty. We're more interested in tending the beauty of the woods that exists, the natural form of beauty, versus the art and music and song of Rivendell, and the deep studies. We study more the creatures of the woods, and the very ground and earth, and what the leaves tell us, and the seasons, and the change of the weather, and the beasts and the creatures. That is more important to us than the learning of scrolls.
Well, I don't expect there would have been as many of you. I'm not surprised you're thinned out after living near so many dragons. Well, what about the brown dragon asleep in the wood? Someday that creature will wake if he's yet there. So we've heard.
No, I have never encountered the creature or the story. Maybe you can share with us too. We have heard of another creature, the werewolf. That is there any word of that creature that hangs in our northern or southern border of Mirkwood?
Oh, hi. And he calls over. And he calls over a couple of the younger fellows and says they know more about that, and have them tell you. You want to play them? Because
A werewolf of Mirkwood? I've killed it twice. I think he's... I've only killed it once. They say that once the werewolf is killed, if there is another wolf within a kilometer of it, then its spirit will possess that wolf, and then it will that wolf will turn into the werewolf. So,
how do you defeat it?
You isolate it. You have to isolate it so that it's impossible for its spirit to incorporate another wolf after it's defeated. By making sure that you combat it away from all other wolves.
Oh, that's quite a challenge.
That is quite a challenge. We believe that it is that it is a cursed being, not a natural monstrosity. We also believe that the shadow has driven it into a frenzy, making it much more active in recent years. We're not exactly sure how. If we could locate the beast's lair, it would explain a lot more, we're sure.
Hard to track such a beast.
Indeed. I haven't done it, so it must be very difficult.
Wow. It's quite a mission, but it's not one I want to take on at this moment. Still,
I don't blame you.
when you said you killed it,
Yep.
how did you kill it?
I used my sword. Well, I used my arrows.
And it moved on,
And the beast fell dead, and there was another werewolf the next day.
What a shame for the animals of the wood to be so used.
I feel bad for the werewolf itself. It seems to be a tortured creature. Something is driving it mad, pushing it further from the north, pushing it further toward the lands of the woodsman.
Well, the last time we heard of such a beast, it had a silmaril in its belly, but it was mad and the whole time ravening, so that's an old tale. I don't know.
That is a good point. But what is something like that could drive a beast mad?
That's a good question. What do you think, Ella Brumborn? Your people have...
I think, well, yeah, I mean, something that would drive that creature mad is it has probably lost all hope, and it is probably a creature of misery that's been consumed by the shadow. I have felt the shadow pull on me many a times and feel accursed, and possibly that is all the creature
all my life.
that creature.
And I fought the shadow all my life. Many miserable creatures. Very, very miserable. This one is being driven on as if something is whipping it on its back every minute of its life, driving it towards something.
Yeah, well, it cannot be like the wolf of Kasroth, because it jumps bodies, and that wolf had but one. It couldn't be something physical.
No.
It has to be...
It would have to be something...
Perhaps there's
mental or
another
emotional.
spirit that rides it.
I would find that difficult for two spirits to be able to leap from body to body successfully for all these years.
A parasite. Something that haunts it. So that they're joined, perhaps.
Parasite would stay with the body.
Perhaps it's... No, I meant a parasitic spirit. Not that I've heard of such things, but a spirit that feeds on the energy of that spirit, as if it's haunting him.
It's possible. But the creature...
Oh, that's what I have. It's a it's a Numenarian harp with unbreakable strings. That's what it is.
What?
On the note.
Numenarian harp with unbreakable strings.
Oh, what you got? Yeah, that. Yeah, well, you might need to use it.
Have you played that played a really bad song over and over again for the wolf?
No, I have not. I have not encountered that wolf.
Because I met this elf who played a song for 2 hours straight about squirrels. And I was reminded about the rage of the werewolf.
I think we know. I think we know who you're speaking of. 1 squirrel, 2 squirrel, 3 squirrel, 4.
Please stop.
Sing the song about the goats, Ella Brimborn.
About the shaggy goats.
Yes.
I was trying to recall my. I was trying to recall my. To reflect back on, we were talking about the wargs. What I had learned is that the wargs of the shadow were driven by cowardice. The great eye calls to them from the darkness. If not for his deceitful voice, no burden would they bear. They fear the eye, the eagle, the flying teeth of the air. They fear the flower of flame, the steel teeth that men bear. They are cowards that are driven by hunger and fear. This is what I have reflected from the Greenwood and from the creatures around there, in an area where works had moved through. Don't know if that lends to the answer of the mystery as to why this werewolf goes on and on.
I'm not sure.
Perhaps one of the higher in the rank of shadow has a hold on something. Perhaps this creature had someone or something that it held dear, and it is being threatened. Perhaps that thing knows. Perhaps they're torturing a loved one.
That is
perhaps.
That is a good theory.
Well, I hope that we never encounter it, but in time, if we grow old enough, we will encounter every bit of shadow there is. Yeah, don't tell me. Don't show me that. Don't show me that. Out of game. Don't show me that page. I don't want to know. But anyway, why don't you play? This is Dark Talk, and this is we've worked hard today and learned much. Why do you not play our song, the song of the whiskey drinking bear? Everyone here would like that.
All right, so I do that. So.
And I get up and clap and dance a little with it, and other people kind of do a little bit softly, but it becomes a fairly jovial.
I sing of Radagast, and I sing of Elrond and Gandalf, and I sing of the demon whiskey stomp or whatever, demon whiskey puke as well. So we try to reflect on very, very light, hearty songs.
They appreciate that, especially after the serious talk and about the werewolf.
Yeah. what I'll say is that the next day, while we're doing a little bit more training up and all that, when we come in for the afternoon meal, which is like they probably eat only like a couple times, a little bite in the morning, and then a late afternoon meal, and then an evening meal. That's more of a light supper snack, so they can sleep well and be on their toes. Somebody comes in that was just out in the thing and says, and sees me and asks to talk to me and says what I'm doing here, blah blah blah. So I tell him, and he's giving looks still at Brimborn or whatever, but he's not like, wanting to meet him yet because he's busy kind of getting a couple light wounds healed and all this stuff from travel and just whatever. And so he says, when he finds out where we're going back, he said, "You should leave now. I don't think it's going to be safe if you stay much longer. In fact, I think that we'll all be leaving here for a while pretty soon. There's bad luck coming up the roads and through your pathways. Don't stay long. If you will stay longer, leave within the week." So I tell Ella Brimborn this and ask if he wants to risk staying another day or two to, teach my father the whiskey drinking bear song or whatever, or tell him any more tales, getting more stories, or what have you.
Yeah, I tell them about the riddle contest at Dragon Tide and things to bring everyone cheer, and about the Legolavin, the baker, and her children, and her grandchildren, and reflect on the Brandybuck's new tavern, and sing the song of the Brandybucks.
Oh, and probably several of the younger guardians are like, "Oh yeah, I know that. That's a good tavern." Blah blah blah, like that.
It's over the Misty Mountains, but they've been there a few times.
So yeah, because they have different. They roam in their different areas and they switch out so that no one gets too comfortable in an area, because then they'll be less alert. So you have to kind of learn a new territory every so often and go out, But, so I'm giving you an opportunity here, Garrett, so that if there's something that's coming, whatever, you can take the lead with that and have them say specifically. If not, that's fine, whatever. Also,
there is a horde.
Wait. Also, if there's anything that my people want to send news or requests or just whatever, any kind besides greetings to, Mirkwood and Erebor and Dale, that they can do it through us. So, through Ella Brimborn. So this is their chance for that. Okay, so now you can tell us.
There is a very well-organized group of orcs led by a particularly bright troll, coming, that seems to have spied the encampment and is making haste to attack.
So, what's the judgment of the elders here? Are we going to all go, or are we going
scatter?
To scatter.
If anybody wants to stay behind and cover for the trolls, cover for the rangers to break out, you can, or you can just try sneak out of there.
What do you mean?
If you want to stay behind and fight off some trolls before taking off to give the other rangers more time to evacuate, then you can, or you can
I
evacuate with everybody else.
I can't ask that of Ella Brimborn. That would be a lot. He just met us, and now he's supposed to defend us. But I think I will tell him that I feel that perhaps before they get here, he should depart, and that I am going to stay a while, hidden from an area, and not in, but out from, finding a good strategic position. And also, Apple and her friend Teddy, it's his nickname, are going to stay with me as well.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you came at such a time. I didn't mean to put you in this danger. It was supposed to be a kind trip, Ella Brimborn. It was supposed to be all fun. But such is the life here.
There's nowhere we have gone where there is not danger. At one time, I believed that basically I was the reason why danger would show up with anyone that I travel with.
No. It's everywhere.
As soon as times would become joyful and happy in my presence, the shadow would appear to basically dampen the spirits of everybody.
I don't know how you could think that when you have a gift for lightening the hearts of all. But now we don't have time for song. You should go. I have to find... I think I know a good place to fight from that will draw them off a bit for a while, and then I can retreat.
All right. Well, I ask her where I should meet up with her.
Mirkwood.
Or you
Okay.
want to do it at the Brandy Bucks Inn is right near the entrance to the road.
Okay, that's good. That's fine.
So you might think of that.
That's good. Yeah, I'll say that. Or if you want to taste the new ale, look for me at the inn, the Brandy Bucks new inn, and I tell them where it is. I mean, we've just been talking about it before, and my father talks about staying, and I tell him no, you can't do that. You have to lead these people on. Some of them, there are people that are going to need to find a new place. Not everybody knows where to go from here. We'll stay. Don't worry about it.
Ella Brimborn, are you gonna stay or are you gonna go?
I'll go if that's what Lorith was saying, and I will head out. One of my other thing when I had heard about the Whites and Sunsteed and learned more information about offering them the treasure and stuff like that as our next mission, I just seemed jovial that's what I'm going to do, and I wish her the best of luck, and I will see her and have a drink waiting for Lorith at the Brandy Bucks Inn. But part of me is reflecting on could I gain more information about what's going on with these. I had studied shadow lore, and whether there's a source along my way that I could reflect, even if it's visiting the I don't know, the Wizard's Tower is probably too far.
Yeah, that's pretty
out
far
of the way. So I just reflect on that.
Okay.
I don't know if there's something where I can feel like I can sneak around in the Misty Mountains or anything like that to discover something on the way back over there. Did I recall anything, secrets or something that I could discover?
Okay. So I will have you play some of the play a couple of the Rangers.
Uh-oh. You can shift over to what he does then later, is that it? Okay.
Yeah, we'll shift
Battle.
over to what you know.
Battle. Can I get some wine before battle?
If you like.
I think I would like. And I also want to share
Are you going to pause recording for a second?
Not while I load this up. What I'm
Okay.
going... So we have 3 Rangers. And I'm giving them control to all players. Control to all players. Okay. For the elves. I mean, for the Rangers. That's the Riven Notebook. Let's go to the pre-gen. Rangers of the North. Okay. You have a longsword skill at 3.
Okay.
Bow skill at 2. Spear at 1.
A what of 1?
Spear of 1.
Okay.
You have a damage of 7. A parry of 5. Armor of 2D. 13 hope. And you have an endurance of 28.
Okay.
So that's how you for handling these guys.
So what we basically want to do is an ambush.
Come on over here, Mary. Take a look at the map and plan your ambush. With Mike. You and Mike plan your ambush.
Where?
I should put Mike on the board.
Yeah, you should tell me who's what where.
Here are the 3 trolls coming in. Here
I
are...
thought you said
you have
orcs
3
under
Rangers.
the...
They're
the guys
trolls,
of
I mean.
Oh,
I
well,
meant
thanks.
trolls.
That makes a big difference.
Yep.
So 3 trolls. Just 3 trolls?
Just 3 trolls.
Well, I don't know that, though, until I see them. But okay. And, so they're coming in. They're going to come over the bridge.
Yep.
So I think what we want to do is kind of... how far away are they really? I mean, can they see us here? We got some time. Do we have time to cut the bridge?
You have time to cut the bridge?
I think we should cut the bridge so that one of them can get on it before they fall, and we can, be on each side here. 2 and 2 or whatever, or 3 and 3, however many there are of us, and bottleneck them. So that we can maybe kind of be shooting at them one at a time, more or less.
Put them through a bottleneck. Put them through some kind of bottleneck.
Yeah, exactly. And if the bridge goes out under the first one, because we've cut it pretty much so that his weight will start to bring it down, then they have that much more difficulty getting over. And maybe if we have enough, how many do we have? 4, 5,
3.
6?
How many? You have 3.
Okay. All right.
You're
so
not meant to fight to defeat them. You're meant to
Right.
delay them enough to help everybody else, so
Right,
everybody else
right.
gets away.
And we need to get away too. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we could put a shooter in the water, but could we have a shooter in a tree that wouldn't shoot until that would you know, could we get
These aren't great trees.
okay.
They're
I
cover,
don't know
but
what-
they're not great climbing trees.
Okay. Okay, that's good. What do you think? You
Well,
think-
or up on these cliffs or hills. I
cliffs.
mean, I know we can put snipers up here or something like
Well,
that.
we only have 3 of us, so a couple of us have to be close. Who's the best shot? Apple? Is she a good archer?
As good as everybody else.
Okay, so maybe she could go up, and me and Teddy could be on the sides. You know, she could be shooting from above, and we could be, you know, wait till the troll is partway over the bridge, and then shoot him, and as his weight brings it down, you know, we can all be shooting, and then when they climb over him to get to it, then we can, you know, if we have to engage further, we will. But you know, Lorith, she's already thinking that they might have to like get rid of all 3 of these. You know what I mean? If they can, and how are they going to with just 3 of us? But that's not what the plan is. You know, they've got their signals when they're supposed to run. So.
Okay, so
They know where to scale.
I've got a ranger figure up there. The rangers will all go on the same. Oh no, we'll have 2 of them up here, so you can have some in rearward and some in open or whatever. All right, are you guys all happy in positions?
Yeah, you know where I said basically we're gonna be.
You're gonna be scattered by these trees to
Right.
set.
Right.
And we have one. We have Apple on the cliff up here.
Mm-hmm.
And do we have another?
Teddy, and what's the other guy's name?
What's the other one's name?
Oh, I thought you meant 3, including me.
No, Apple, Teddy, and who?
Let's say it's Movath.
Moveth? Okay.
Because I know his name. So,
Okay.
There you go.
So you're over there. The trolls start climbing. There is no subtlety. There is the thundering sound of them going over through the glade and throwing rocks and trees out of their side, ripping the trees out of the ground and hurling them, and just in a complete furious way to get themselves psyched up. Destroying everything in sight. And finally, the shadow falls across the bridge, and moments later, rocks start falling into the river from being flung by the trolls, and then the trolls enter sight. What do you have opening volleys? What do you want to do?
Apple shoots first.
Apple shoots. Apple gets a 11.
Gets an 11. Let's see. There. That's 12 plus pair. 12 plus fairy.
Because they'd expect somebody farther away.
That does
They might
not
not
hit.
expect us to be close. So, hopefully we can.
Apple misses and hits a rock next to the troll. Who's next? With opening volleys.
Oh, everyone can go. Okay.
Yeah.
Mobeth shoots and gets a 16 with a Tengu.
That hits.
Is he playing Teddy too?
Yeah, he's playing all 3.
Okay.
All right, so that would be 5 damage.
5 damage to him.
Teddy shoots Teddy gets a 13.
13 does not hit.
Okay. Did someone need to cut the bridge, or we already rigged the bridge?
No, we cut the bridge. Yeah, okay. We cut the bridge so that before he, hopefully before from the weight of it, hopefully before he gets all the way to this side, it will go down with the first troll on it. And if they're two of them are on the bridge at the same time, it's definitely going to go down.
Okay.
So, Garrett, what about party? Do we get to make battle rolls first?
Yes, you get to make battle rolls.
Okay, battle rolls for our battle things.
For your elves, their battle is
not elves.
I'm sorry, rangers.
Yeah.
If I could.
I got a Gandalf.
Cool.
My first of the night, hopefully not my last.
They have one pip in battle.
I got 7
okay.
and a Gandalf.
7 and a Gandalf?
Yeah.
That's one battle die.
Alright, I got one of the elves, or one of the rangers. See, now I'm doing it now, too. One of the rangers got an 11 for battle with a Tengu.
Does not get you anything. You gotta
me roll for the other ones?
Yeah, roll for the other ones.
8 and a 10.
Nope. They don't get it.
Okay, so how many battle die do we have?
You have 1.
We have 1. Okay. Alright.
Lorith, you want to take your opening shot?
Yep, I certainly do. And now I have more in my bows, so. That's not that promising. Alright, that's 7 plus 6, 13 with 1 Tengu.
13 with 1 Tengu does not hit.
Yeah, I figured that. That sucks.
It bounces off of his hideous hide armor.
And now
chest.
they know that we're here.
Oh, they knew you were there.
But, yeah. Well, they knew that we're...
And you hear a very familiar voice behind them saying, "All right, prepare to swim. You will take your bath whether you like it or not, and in exchange you will get to feast on those pesky rangers."
And who's this voice that's so familiar?
From a meeting of trolls that you infiltrated, and he leading the hunt to find you after you were found out being there. It's Mormog.
Oh, of course it's Mormog. That bastard. Mormog.
Okay, so that was your opening volleys.
Mm-hmm.
You get to go first since you're holding
Right.
are holding the defensive.
So they're on the bridge.
They're not at the bridge yet.
Okay.
They're just behind the bridge.
Okay. Apple goes again.
You can pick up, put yourself on your stances. What do you want to stance be?
Well, I still think I can get off a shot before they come in, right? I mean, because especially since the bridge is going to go out, hopefully. So I want to get off one more shot. What stance can I use?
Rearward. Rearward is the only thing for that.
Okay. So that's what we've got.
Okay, everybody, and then so you're
We'll sweep
for
out
this situation,
swords.
everybody can hold rearward. I'm not
Okay.
worried about the rules on that, on account that you're going first, and that
It's an ambush.
it's an ambush.
Not the greatest ambush.
That
but
was
it's what
opening
we-
volleys. This is your round. Do you want to have Apple go first?
Yeah, let Apple go first again.
Okay, Apple goes first.
She gonna shoot her bow again? I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
'Cause she's up there.
Unless she
Yeah.
wants to
Alright.
run onto a bridge that's going to
No,
break.
she's
No,
she's-
no, she did.
She's
and
got
she
her
did.
orders to just shoot until it would be dangerous for her to keep, and then she's supposed to go.
All right, she got. She actually did very well. She got a 21.
Whoa.
She got two Tengus, And so
That
I
is
don't.
a
That
successful, great hit. She flies a bolt loose that hits in the side of the neck to one of the trolls. That's damage. That's 2 times damage plus the normal damage for a bolt.
right, like her body or whatever kind of thing.
Right, I told it as damage is how they listed it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, as a damage thing. So 19 damage then.
19 damage. Okay. Oh, they got me with a toothpick. Who goes next?
I do.
Okay.
The boys can go after. I got a thing against Mormog.
You're gonna shoot at Mormog?
Yes, I'm gonna shoot at Mormog.
Mormog.
That'd be great.
7.
Come on, baby. I got 11.
You fling your arrow out. He catches it in the air and breaks it in 2.
It's a good thing I didn't use an arrow at Luminar yet.
You haven't found those yet.
No, I have. I just haven't figured out the story of them.
Oh, okay. Who goes next?
Probably
Teddy or Morveth?
Teddy.
Movath.
Morveth.
There's no R.
So can they wait with their swords to strike when the guy's on the bridge, or?
No, we want to do volleys first, and then go into
All
our
right.
swords next.
Okay, Mobeth gets a 14 with a Tengu.
Misses by 1.
Ah.
Okay,
It bounces off of the shoulder of the troll.
and Teddy does really bad. He got a 7.
7.
Oh.
He manages to have it pierce the tent of one of the rangers.
You're gonna pay for that.
And he steps
Teddy.
onto the bridge, and it breaks, and that's the end of his turn. He tramples through the tent and goes into the water. Morvog yells at them and leads them from behind in this. He begins in the black speech, taunting them and haunting them. He spends 1 point of hate to activate it. Everybody make a... Well, you don't have... Everybody make a valor test.
Okay,
Even if you have strength of will?
Yep.
just say there's.
Oh, no, if you have strength of will, that's fine.
Well, do they?
Valor,
They're-
Valor 2 or something.
Let's see. Valor...
I have strength of will. Because that's one of my virtues.
Wrong book. Wrong book. That close to the end book. Oh, there it is. Their valor is 2.
All right, Teddy got a 7.
He cannot attack Mormog on this next round.
Okay. Mobeth got a 18 with a Tengu.
Whoa, nice.
He can attack Moveth if he wishes. I mean, he can
Okay.
attack Mormog.
And Apple got a 17 with a Tengu.
Does not get to hit him.
But she can do the trolls.
She can do the other trolls, but can't go
Yeah.
after Mormog.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay, so that was their turn. You want to change stances?
Oh, yeah. I'm sweeping out my sword and I'm going balls out now.
You're going forward.
I hate Mormont. It's one of my dangers. I shouldn't
And
feel
Mike,
that way.
where do you want the others to go?
I think, well, Apple's gonna stay rearward,
Yeah,
and
with her arrows.
the other guys will go defensive.
Okay.
Smart.
So Teddy and Mobeth.
And I am willing to
defensive.
spend a point of hope if I need to.
Well, there are 2 trolls between you and Mormog, so what do you do?
Who are you speaking to?
You.
I go first.
Yep.
Okay. I sweep out my sword.
Yep. You're gonna go after the troll between you and Mormog?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It's not great.
Is it an Eye of Sauron?
No, it was a 6. Crap, I just accidentally threw my other die out. Oh, that's too bad it didn't land on my... I was hoping for something better, like a Gandalf, you know?
Aren't we all?
Okay, yeah, and I only get 3, not 4 with both, so those 3. Okay, I have 17 with a Tengu.
That hits. Damage plus a body.
Damage is 5. Oh, that's my... No, wait a minute. I do get... I'm sorry. I get another one. That's my longsword. I was still rolling bow. Oh. And another Tengu.
2 times body.
Yeah, so that's 12, 18, 23 with 2 Tengus.
Nice.
Okay,
23 with 2
sorry.
Tengus, so
that's why I had that other die
Yep.
out, and then I was looking at the bottom. Okay, so that's 7 plus what? How many times body?
2 times your body.
Okay, so it's 16 plus 7.
23.
Yeah, I guess.
47. 37 is down. Ouch. This guy is getting his butt kicked as you carve a huge gash in his stomach where you can see some organs and meat inside of there.
And I'm sure it stings.
Oh, it stinks. Mike, for your ground troops.
Okay. Teddy's going to swing two-handed with his longsword, and he gets a 19.
Nice.
Okay, he hops into the river a little bit, and with an 18, he hits.
19, he said.
19, he hits.
19. Okay, does 7 damage.
7 damage.
And then Mobeth swings at the same. Well, I don't know. Can
Yeah, let's take him.
yeah, he'll go at the same. He'll go at the same one in the river.
Yeah, they're pretty big. There's room. Right?
There's plenty of room.
It's he gets a Gandalf,
Excellent.
so that means he gets edge.
It does get edge. Let's roll.
So he has to do an injury test, right?
Yep.
Does he get any Tengus or anything?
Did he get any Tengu?
He got a Tengu too, yeah.
Nice. He gets 3d worth of damage. Eight, 10, 14 plus 4, 18.
All right, so my total ended up being 25 was my hit,
Nice.
and 21 damage. So if he got wounded then.
18. Does an 18 make the injury?
Oh, the injuries. The injury would be 18 exactly. Yep.
18. So he made it. So he's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a? And now we go to your ranged person.
All right. So Apple will shoot at Mormog because she is not afraid of him. And she got a 16.
Goes flying on through, hits his knee, and bounces off. He laughs. That's gonna be like, I can't wait to break your bones and eat you. Their turn. Let's see. What fun can we have over here? Let's see.
Just remember, if you kill me now, it's going to be a really Short fellowship pays for the rest of it.
Strike fear. I need to shine a light onto the GM screen. Strike fear, 1 point of hate. Oh, everybody, those two guys that are in front of him must make a valor test, or else are afraid of him.
You mean Movath and Teddy?
Yep, Molveth and Teddy.
Okay.
As he
What do we make their valor 2? Make their valor 2?
They must make their valor at 2.
Yeah. All right. One got Teddy got an Iosauron.
Oh, he cannot use any points of hope in combat against this guy.
And
he can use the one battle die if he needs to, though.
You can use the battle die, right?
Yeah. No, I'm saying he should feel free then, since he can't.
Mobath got a 11.
He can't use any hope against this troll either.
All right.
This guy goes up here, is going to use great size. What can we use with that? Creature keeps fighting. Okay,
with his guts falling out.
Yep, with his guts find out. Idiot.
He didn't go into the water yet.
Endurance lost close by an enemy's attack with a creature's attribute level. They're in the water. He fell into the water.
How deep is it?
10 feet. Let's see. Let's go with heavy hammer.
Here's where the fun stops.
That's 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 4 is 11. Yours is what's your parry?
Were you talking
for me or Lorith?
For Lorith. 4. 11. Let's see. 6 plus 4 is 10. He got you by 1. Heavy hammer does 8 points of damage. As you are slammed by the hammer back into the side of one of the dwellings.
Can I smash it off with a point of hope?
Nope.
Okay.
But you can fall back and take half damage, but you lose your turn next round.
Fuck no.
Cup. That's that tro. Mormog again uses his striking fear. So everybody make a valor test against him.
Even if you have strength of will?
If you have strength of will, you don't have to.
All right. Teddy got 13. Mobeth got a 14 with the Tengu.
Okay, they passed.
And Apple got a 10.
Apple got a 10.
And I said I was giving you an opportunity. I don't think you were going to do this with it.
Nope, none of them made it. They needed to make a 19. So they can't attack.
Oh, yeah, there's no way they're going to do that.
But they can attack.
They could get a Gandalf.
Right, yeah.
Anybody want to change stances?
Hell no.
Nope.
Okay, Lorith, you're up.
So this guy in front of me is looking pretty bad, eh?
He's looking pretty rough.
Good. Alright. I've got 21 with 2 Tengus.
That's
nice. Good striking at him. You hamstring him, so that's damage plus 2 times body.
The same thing. It's 7 plus 16, so...
23. Yeah, he's in really bad shape now. Almost single digits. Good job. Now we go to Mike's ground troops. Teddy and
All right.
Molveth.
Teddy will strike at the river troll that are on there, and he did pretty good. He got a 22 with 2 Tengus.
Nice.
Excellent.
That's better than I did.
So that would be 21 damage.
21.
And he got a 10 on his longsword, which is edge.
All right.
So
it's
injury against 18
Nice.
for the wound test.
I always forget about edge, but I never get it anyway, so. Or rarely. I'm sure I've gotten it a couple times in that.
9.
Well, yeah,
he got a 9 on his injury.
Oh, sweet. All right, so he's wounded.
A wound.
And 21 damage.
And 21 damage as he drives his sword right into the troll's guts.
And Mobeth will try to swing as well. And Mobeth gets a 8 total.
Nope, he does not strike, but he's holding his defensive stance very well, even in the river. Okay, and Apple?
Apple, I'm not even rolling 3 dice for them. I'm only rolling 2 dice for their long swords too. So, anyways, I'll remember next time because I'm going between bow and longsword. Not. I had the first couple rounds. I paid attention. So he actually got a 22 with like 2 dice.
Yeah, you need to separate your sets.
So, Apple, I don't know if she hits with a 15, but she got a 10 so she would have made edge with her bow, but
a 15.
I don't know if a 15 hits or not.
15 is what you need to hit, and that's hits with edge.
Yep, and so she's gonna hit the one. I should have told you ahead of time, but she's gonna hit the one in front of Lorith.
Okay.
Or we can just do a random one. She can't hit more Mog. So
no, that's fine. 6 is 12 plus 5, 17.
That makes it.
It makes it okay. And
yeah, injury with a bow is 14. So damage would be just 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay. So it swings on. It looks like it's going to hit a critical area in his head, and it kind of breaks off a little bit, and the arrow breaks, but it doesn't go as deep in, so there's a half an arrow sticking out of this guy's head.
Sweet.
Alright, that's you guys. Let's see, this guy's going to use the hammer again on Lorith. $18 plus against you're going out with 6 plus your parry of 5. 4, 10, so that hits with Tengu. So that will be hammer. It does 8 plus attribute bonus of 7. 15 points of damage.
Oy.
As the hammer slams you the other way and you hit a tree and the tree leans a bit now after that impact.
And there's nothing I can do with this to fight this off.
You can fall back and take half damage, but you lose your lose your next turn.
No.
Okay.
If I die, I die.
No.
Hey, that's how she rolls.
Yep.
Mormog comes across the river.
Elabrimor would be pissed that he left. And he that he listened to you.
Well, that's the breaks. He doesn't get to play the hero now. I do.
Great.
The dead hero, but a hero.
We don't have to win this battle. We just have to distract it. That
yeah,
we can try to flee.
Yeah.
Okay. He's going to use his notched sword on you, Mormog.
On me?
Yep. $17, that's going to hit, and he got a Tengu.
Uh-oh.
And he's going to spend a point of hate.
Well, he's going to kill him.
So his notched sword does what kind of damage?
Oh.
That sword does 8 points of damage plus his attribute bonus of 9, 15. He uses his horrible strength to add another 9 to 24.
Okay, well, I already had 23, so my endurance is 29. So
you are down to 0 endurance.
No. I already had 23 damage.
Right?
And you're adding how much?
I'm adding 29 to it.
Right.
But you didn't take another wound, so you're just at 0 endurance, so you fall unconscious.
Uh-oh.
You are in danger of being coup de grace.
Yeah. So, what do I put down? How many? 20?
29. Just say you have 0 endurance.
Okay. Well, people are going to get I gotta check that.
Okay. Mike, your ground troops.
Right. There. Can we change? Are we starting another thing over again, or?
Nope. It's we. Oh wait. We had one guy start that.
Did they all attack? I don't think the other trolls
No, they didn't all attack. So that guy attacked Laura. This guy attacks here. This guy will attack Teddy with his hammer.
Not Teddy.
$13, which misses, as he's fighting in defensive mode. Okay, so do you want to change stances?
Yeah. Well, what do we have to do? I want the characters are all gonna. Apple's gonna try to run up Mormog's arm when he swings out, jump on his arm, and stab his arm with a club. And then the other two are gonna try to grab Laura Spotty and run away. So I don't know what they have to do that. I forgot what the
whatever. It can't be a rearward, but it can be whatever other stance you want.
So they'll go forward, the other two, and grab Laura Spotty, and Apple's gonna also go to forward but try to distract Mormog.
Okay. To get away from that other troll, the Teddy and Moveth need to make a athletics test.
Okay. What's their athletics? 2 or?
Their athletics test is 1.
Oh. So the first one got an 11.
Remember, you have a battle die.
Yeah, I know the next one's gonna use it.
Yep. So that failed, as Teddy is still trapped in battle with the troll.
I'm sorry, Teddy.
Second one got a 16.
16. He manages to pull away and can drag Lorith out of there a bit.
All right. Very stupidly with our low athletics, Apple's gonna try to jump onto.
Let's give Apple 2 for athletics to make this fun.
So when Mormog stretches his arm to cock back to strike, she's gonna kind of try to jump on his club or whatever, run along his arm up to his head. It might go totally terrible, but
okay.
So she got a 9 with a Tengu.
She leaps out and lands in this cart and falls prone.
Why does Apple have to be so saucy? She was supposed to leave.
Well, she thought she was going to hook up with Ella Brimborn last night.
Mormog turns around to her on his turn.
Not Apple.
And is going to attack her.
But she accomplished what she wanted to do, which was a distraction.
Oh, jeez.
He got an Eye of Sauron. That's a critical hit.
Oh.
And he got a Tengu.
What does a meat pie look like in a wagon?
She fell out of the wagon.
Oh, okay.
She's got to roll her armor. What's her armor like?
2.
2. So she's got to get a 16.
She got a 10.
She cannot spend a point of hope because... Oh, she can spend a point of hope.
Yeah, she's not afraid of them.
Okay.
All right.
What'd she get?
So she gets her heart or something on that.
Her hope. Yeah, her heart. Which is 5.
Would I say 10?
Right.
So she still doesn't make it.
She doesn't
right?
make it. She takes a wound. And she takes the damage, which is 8 plus 9, 17 points of damage.
Alright, well, she's still alive.
Other troll moves in to intercept
Mobeth is trying to pull her away.
And attacks with the hammer. That's a 12. What's his parry?
7, I think. Oh, 5.
5, so that's going to get hit. Let's see. The hammer does 8 points of damage.
Okay.
This guy is still involved with Teddy. Goes with the hammer. Gets a Gandalf. Automatically misses as he steps in a deeper part of the river. That's that round.
Okay. So we'll stay in forward.
Okay.
You guys need to get out of here. Leave my.
Well,
body.
that's what they're gonna do.
Okay.
So Mobeth is gonna grab Lorith and run for the river. Considering the waterfalls or that river running down looks like it's running that way, I'm assuming the water runs underneath the bridge. So
yep.
It's gonna kind of like run over here and try to go down the river that way.
Okay, to do that, you gotta get away from the trolls, so that is an athletics roll.
Okay.
I'm still holding on to my sword, right?
Yep.
Good.
Crappy athletics roll.
Don't forget
nope.
you have hope.
Okay. Well, it doesn't. This is awful, but I rolled for Mobeth first because that's who we were gonna do.
Okay.
So the hope won't help him because he got an Eye of Sauron. So
Eye of Sauron. He's gonna do a called shot to smash his armor for the troll. Okay, so go on for Teddy.
Teddy tries to grab Lorith too, seeing Mobeth is not doing very well.
He needs to roll an athletics check to get away from the troll.
Okay, and he will use a point of hope as well. So he, what do we say? His heart was 5. So he got a 15.
He gets away and drags Lorith a bit out.
Okay.
Whoops. Doesn't drag you out. Drags.
What about Apple? She fell, but she's not.
She's not dead.
So he's trying to go in the river and, yeah, trying to, because he figures he ain't going to get out in the cliff with the body, so he's going to jump in the river and try to go down.
So what's Apple going to do?
Apple is going to sacrifice herself, and she's going to scream at the trolls to come get her.
She's supposed to leave.
Well, she's going to try to die. She doesn't know that everyone else can escape. I don't know.
She's going to
We want Apple. Yeah, Apple's going to try to distract the trolls.
Oh,
okay, make a awe roll.
Okay.
Or a persuade roll, depending on your strategy.
Yeah, I don't know what her persuade, I guess. I don't know what her skill level is in that, so
Her
make it a
skill
1.
level in Persuade, let's see. She has nothing in Awe, so that would not be a good idea. She has 1 in Persuade.
All right.
Remember
She got
when
an
you
8.
were low-level characters?
Yeah,
What's that?
you didn't throw
Remember
3
when you were
fucking
low-level
trolls at us.
characters?
I remember
Yeah,
you didn't
right.
throw 3 trolls at us.
I gave you 3 NPCs. 3 meat shields.
All right. Apple got a 8, but she could use a point of hope too, which I don't know what we'll give her. But
That'll give her +5. 8 plus 5 is 13. It's good enough because she's already caught the attention of Mormoth.
Oh gosh.
Let's see. So, Mormoth will go on
she's
up.
like, you filthy beast. You will never invade our lands. You will never take us. You will be defeated.
And he will use his claws to swipe at her and knock her down.
Our plan has worked already against you.
My claws will eat against you. 13, 14 plus 3 is 17 against her. 6 plus... What's her parry?
5.
11. 17 that hits with a Tengu. His claw does 6 damage plus attribute of 9. 15 points of damage.
All right, that will that'll put her at level 0 there with a wound.
With a wound, okay. And
She's
then
at 0 with a wound.
She is dying.
Okay.
Oh, not Apple. My father will be so pissed at me.
This guy ignores the one he's engaged in. Heads on over and rips her arm off and begins eating it.
Oh, gross.
The others are free to escape.
All right. Yeah, they try to, like I said, they try to escape whatever route's going to be the quickest with Lorith. So.
And as you drag Lorith under the waterfall to the passage out of there, we will call this session.
Poor Apple.
She should have left. She was supposed to shoot till she couldn't shoot anymore and then leave. That was the plan.
I know, but she couldn't see Lorith die, so she
Damn my renown.
she couldn't see Lorith die, so she had to go kamikaze on the troll.
But you were successful in helping the Rangers all escape.
Except for Apple.
Except for Apple.
She's applesauce.
And on that note, we end our show for tonight. Thank you for watching The Company of the Whiskey Drinking Bear.